Hi guys, welcome to the JDM Masters. So we have asked you some questions on Instagram again. So thank you for asking your questions. On this journey, we will try to answer them.
Today we're in a different car from the last one. This is Japonic's new R34 GTR in, of course, what color? Bayside blue.
Bayside blue. This time it's Bayside blue.
Yeah, really exciting because it's quite a different tune from the previous car. I think this is I would say the optimum, well-balanced tune of how an RB26 engine should be. How do you like it?
It's perfect, man.
Yeah?
So I bought this from the first owner. Apparently that guy was rich and he put everything and like top-notch spec, everything is like, probably he asked the tuner, which one is good? This one? Okay, put the expensive one.
The expensive one. The car is fully loaded, 2.8 liter HKS, good twin turbos. It has the VVTi from the HKS, VCOM Pro, yes. ECU, Alcon racing brakes. It's crazy, you don't find it anymore.
And Nitron Force 3-way suspensions.
Wow.
And carbon twin clutch plate.
Oh yeah. So definitely we'll be reviewing this car. You don't need to ask that. But we'll think of a good way to make a story. So definitely we'll do that. Be patient with us.
Hi.
So it's been quite a journey, isn't it?
Yes, it
well,
is.
A short journey, but a very eventful one. And thank you all of you guys for your support, continued support, and also the nice comments that we have in our videos. It's very encouraging, and we really hope that we can bring you more varied stuff. And so we'll just like to go through some of the questions. I'll be reading off my phone. We might not be able to answer every question, so please bear with us, but a lot of them we are actually considering. So for those, I'll just give a quick answer, yes we're doing, or no, we'll think about that, something like that.
Yeah, and I saw there were some similar questions like what is JDM and stuff. Please check our first episode on here, so to see the questions that we answered already.
Absolutely. Okay, so just to quickly start off, and there's a whole lot of questions here, so I'll just quickly read them off, and if you're the one that posted the question, you probably would know, but I'm going to answer for everyone. I hope you guys visit HKS and Monster Sport. Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely the plan.
On the schedule.
Where should I go to see the most car culture in Japan? What do you think, Japonik?
Well, Daikoku is pretty close to us, and Tatsumi, we generally go there to hang out with people, chill out. But of course, on the mountains and maybe in Osaka, in Kansai area, there are a lot of
very different. Yeah, it is quite difficult to go to some of these parking areas if you don't have a car. You might probably have to rent it, or you can get along with us. We do also from time to time organize some private tours, so more information on that later. In the previous videos we showcased some exhibition places and some museums and some halls. Those are easily accessible, so if you want to do that, there's some information. We can give it to you on Instagram. Are there any local racing legends throughout the Toge, and what cars did they drive? Ooh, that's quite a difficult question. You know, there are so many people along in the past, about 40 years of popular recent culture, especially those of influence initially. Some racing drivers have come from the Toge, and I would say generally back in the 80s and 90s, a lot of them who wanted to go into drift would generally use cars like the AE86 because it was relatively cheap back then, not so anymore. 180SX, S13s, and then later on some Silvias, S15s as well, Skylines. Some people with a bit more money use RX-7s. Otherwise, generally, just about anything goes. Even lesser known cars now, like the Starlight Glanza, they were very cheap back then. Civics not so much, but some people do use them. Generally, Toge cars tend to be more something with power, or either like compact. These days, anything goes.
I see a lot of K cars like S660 Honda and some other cars. They're very good at like in the corners, and
Because it's so compact.
people are having fun.
Yeah.
6-speed manual.
Yes. Very lightweight rear engine. And that's one thing, like, it's not necessary to have power to have fun on the togeis, because in Japanese mountain roads are very, very narrow. So you're better off with a lighter and smaller car. Swift Sport thoughts. We will find one and review them. It's a fantastic car, bang for the buck actually, and very popular with young Japanese guys. Here, there's another question. What's your favorite car? Now that's pretty generic. So we're gonna be very specific. I'm gonna take the standard of your favorite car should be something that you have liked for a great number of years. No matter how many other cars that catch your interest, you still like that car. What's yours?
Maybe the answer could be like, so they're asking you have one chance of picking a car, and throughout your life you will have that car. Which car would you pick? Then maybe the answer is same. I mean, if you ask me what's your favorite car, I will say where, in highway or in toge. That will be different, or for my family, or just for myself. So it will be different. But if you ask me what would be your car throughout your life, I would say Lexus.
Oh.
Yes.
Lexus
definitely.
what specifically?
Lexus for the family. If it's gonna be for the family, I would say RX 450h. So hybrid, powerful, 7-seater, very good SUV, and since it's Lexus, it's very, very reliable. I would say that car.
It's got enough reliability, good technology, build quality, comfort, style.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, in that case, I would say the Honda NSX Type R, because I really like, coming from an engineering background, I appreciate all the little small details of how the car was built and conceptualized and what it stands for.
Is this maybe a mobile camera? Wait, no, that's just Uji-san. But did you pick NSX for like your favorite car, or for the rest of your life? Think, you might have children and other stuff. Like
for me, then it's not a favorite car. It's just a functionality car.
Yeah. So otherwise, I would say, of course, GTR, because I loved GTR 34. That's why I bought it. So my favorite car is this. But yeah, if you give me one chance and one car to pick for the rest of my life, I would go with Lexus RX 450h.
Okay, in that case, if you have to include the family element of it, at least it's got to have rear seats and 4 doors, right?
Oh yeah, you will go with Evo?
No. Well, probably FD2 Civic Type R.
Okay.
I like my EK9. That's actually my favorite car, realistic favorite car.
But EK9 looks small from outside, but interior is super nice.
It's not that small. It's got more space than this 34.
More space than this. Way more space than R35.
Yeah.
And R35 has no space at the back.
Okay, so there's like dream favorite car and realistic favorite car, right?
Yeah.
Dream favorite car. Oh, come on, like NSX Type R, LFA.
Yeah.
There's so many. So it's you need to be more subjective then. Oh, what are the average prices for a well looked after Civic Type R EK9 these days in Japan?
You did a lot of market research about that before you bought it. So
oh my goodness.
Yeah,
they'll range between 1.5 million yen, and that's average, I would say. And on the more expensive range, it will be going up to like 3 million yen. So that's like $30,000 US.
Yeah, 15 to 30,000.
15 to 30,000.
Depending on the condition, on the grade, on the kilometer.
Yes. Okay. Next question. Which JDM would you pick? Is it Subaru or Mitsubishi? I'm not going to pick any specific one. Both makers have cars that are good in their own way, and they have very different feelings when you drive them. So, not one of them. Do you think Japanese cars are special in Japan, or is it special all over the world? I think it's a worldwide phenomenon for people who like JDM cars, and that's the purpose of this channel.
Yeah.
To show also people who might not know so much about Japanese cars what the good points are compared to European cars, because we specialize in this, and hopefully to give the correct information. Where did you get your Honda jacket? I've already answered that in the last video, so please have a look.
Check it out.
From various sources. Been driving for 6 months an automatic front-wheel drive car. What is a good first project car for newbies in the US? Maybe you have some very well knowledgeable American fans or car enthusiasts will probably be able to answer that first. Let us know in the comments. Oh, this is a good question. What are some of the underrated JDM sports cars? Ooh, the R34 GTR, Supra, Evo, WRX, 22B, all these cars are highly rated.
Yeah.
But what's underrated? Something that people don't really know but actually has really good performance. It's a bit tough, right? Because everything is all about...
It is a bit tough.
It is a bit tough. Like, underrated?
I export cars, I do always check auction prices, and one thing I see is like on the JDM performance cars, if they are above 100,000 kilometers, the price drops significantly.
Right.
For example, GC8, it's a good car, it's a nice car, but if the mileage is really high, then it is really, really cheap.
Really good point, actually. Yeah. Some people want to buy cars that are cheap. Maybe they're still popular cars, but because they have higher mileage, they think.
Yeah, in Japan, there is this thinking. Like, can you imagine? In the US, let's say after 70,000 miles, you consider the cars as like, oh, they're gone, they're finished. Oh, this engine is done.
Yeah.
It's considered like this after 100,000 kilometers.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. People in Japan, they're using public transportation mostly. They don't use cars to commute to work. But the cars are really good condition and they're low mileage. So when the other cars are really low mileage, when you have a car over 100,000 kilometers, people think like, oh, this car is done already.
That does tend to be
and then
quite true.
It drops the price like maybe twice.
So that's from a price buying point of view, which is really, really good and very valid point, I think. Basically, if a car has high mileage, it doesn't mean it's not good. So in that sense, it could be popular cars, but it shouldn't be underrated because they're high mileage. They could be good cars.
Maybe we can make a video about how to buy a second-hand JDM car and what to check.
Oh, definitely.
And like, if the car is well maintained, why not? I don't care about mileage.
Yeah. Certain particular points to check, and not forgetting that these cars are over 20 years old now. So they all have an equal base of things that you should check for, even if they're low mileage or high mileage. Sometimes it's better to buy a car that has higher mileage but very well maintained and always run regularly.
Yeah, and like having very low mileage car is also not good. The car wasn't running, it's just sitting.
We don't know where it's been kept, whether it's outside or not. Rubber seals and all that kind of problems. But anyway, on the other side of underrated cars, people might think that these cars are not good packaging, they don't have good performance. So, for example, like in the Toyota range, I think the Toyota Celica is very underrated. It has good performance. Maybe the design.
It's reliable too.
It's reliable, very reliable.
Toyota, it's reliable.
Very reliable. And also another car that it's not a sports car, but I really like, and has very good road manners and performance, is the Toyota Crown. Any Toyota Crown.
Yes. Yeah. Very, very reliable, comfortable, powerful enough.
Yeah. Nissan.
I had Fuga.
You had a
Nissan Fuga. So it's same engine as 350Z.
That's quite underrated. I know
280 horsepower. Very luxurious. I had VIP version, so even the rear seats were reclining and had cold and hot options.
So if you want like a luxury grade car, the Nissan Fuga is cheap and it's good.
It's around $1,000.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good alternative.
Maybe in the US it's like Infiniti MX35, something like that.
Oh.
The naming is different.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the sports cars, 90s sports cars, I don't know. Z32s are gaining a lot of popularity again. But there's probably no Nissan sports cars that isn't underrated. But hard to find, maybe the Pulsar GTIR for Rarity.
Yeah, I mean,
that's really underrated.
It's really hard to see in person.
Yeah, very hard to see in real life. And it has the best SR20 engine, better than all the Silvias for certain technical reasons. Honda, I would say Preludes. Preludes are very underrated. And also Accords. The older ones with the H22 engine is very robust, a lot of torque, and especially the last Accord has a really good solid chassis. In Mitsubishi, maybe the Mitsubishi FTO, beautiful timeless design, really nice if you can find one. With the Myvec and 2-liter engine, it's a small V6, 200 horsepower, and same base as the Lancer 456. Subaru, well, there's not many Subarus, but I would say actually the Foresters, even the non-STI versions, the XTs, those are, they're good enough. They're good enough. Mazda, I think the Mazda 6 Speed, the 4-wheel drive 2.3 liter turbo version called the Mazda Speed, or the MPS overseas, the Atenza here. It's very, very underrated. Really good car for the performance and so also the design and the concept behind it. What do you think about Wankel engines? Are we going to offend Rotary fanboys here? All right, so I had an RX-8 before. I ran it for 3 years, and I have friends around me who have the RX-7 FC, FD, and as an engineer, Rotary engines, the concept is fantastic. I mean, it's got very little moving parts because it's a rotary operation. It will never actually cease, which is why they use it for aircraft. It won't, like, if the engine blows, for example, the pistons won't freeze, the crankshaft will stop moving, it will still continue moving, we'll just lose compression. However, it's very successful running at a constant high speed. That's why it's good for using it, in an aircraft, and it's also good for racing. But for a road car, because there's so many small things that you have to take care of to prevent, like, flooding of the spark plugs fouling. You have to, get it up to temperature before shutting it off. It consumes oil. You have to rebuild it more often than piston engines. I think it needs a lot of care and attention. They're good, but if you're not a real petrol head and you don't have enough knowledge about cars to take care of these engines, I would say stay away until you're ready. Fair?
Exactly.
What do you think of rotary engines? Would you think you'll buy RX-7?
I love their sound.
Yeah?
I love their sound. But if I buy an RX-7, it won't be more than 50,000 kilometers.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I have to know every detail on the maintenance book.
Oh, yes. First tip, if you do have a chance to buy a rotary car, if you can, you have to get the compression checked first to make a good judgment on the price.
Yeah.
Because an overhaul now these days is pretty expensive. This is going to be interesting for you. Review of Honda Odyssey Absolute 2.4 liter K24. What is yours? You have a Honda Odyssey, right? Is it a
Honda Odyssey
2.4 liter?
2.4.
Let's review your car.
Yeah.
How useful it is.
I bought it for $800.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
It's very good condition. I mean, everything is great. As I said, it's around 200,000 mileage.
And it still runs.
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
Engine compression, acceleration, brakes, everything is perfect.
That's a testament to Honda quality. Of course, Toyotas will probably
And interior quality is perfect. The design is very nice. I love the design.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Inside.
It's low profile as well.
Yeah.
Front mask.
7-seater, perfect car. Perfect for the family.
That actually has a very big following in Japan with the VIP stance guys.
Yes.
For some reason, that's like the most popular MPV compared to any other. Maybe because of its sleek design.
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, okay. How old are you guys? Let's just say I'm in my early 40s.
I'm 31.
You're 31. Well, that's pretty truthful. Okay. What does Captain do? Job. Let's just say, I'm sorry guys, I don't want to really expose a lot of my private life. for certain reasons. Let's just say I work in the car and motorsports industry, various things.
I export cars. If you need any car, just
Come to this guy.
text me or email here. I have exported around 700 cars in 2 years. So if you would like to, we would like to help you.
Definitely make your JDM ownership dreams come true,
Yeah.
if possible, within reason.
Yeah, and if you want, we can buy cars and keep them
Yes.
in Japan.
Yes.
We have this storage.
Actually, that's what I do.
Yeah, that's
Kind of.
part of his job.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can keep cars here for you.
Yes, definitely. Will you be able to learn something about the Midnight Club?
GPS signal lost.
Well,
Just watch for it. Certain interesting things will probably develop.
yeah,
Okay,
just wait.
just wait. Do you do paid tours of the JDM scene?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And probably more things to come up very soon.
We used to do it privately before, but we will do it as JDM Masters soon.
Very
It's,
soon.
On the planning.
It's on the
So,
planning, yes. This is an interesting question and probably a very mature question to ask. Is car culture in Japan accepted throughout normal society? Ooh.
I would say yes. Not like society is against the car culture. They love when they see, but you shouldn't annoy them. You shouldn't have very loud exhaust and run your engine at 6 a.m. or 11 p.m. in the morning, in the
And
night.
the reason is a lot of metropolitan Tokyo and surrounding areas, people live very close to each other. Some of the houses are literally inches apart, and parking is sometimes very small and it's near people's houses. So there is this very sensitive issue about, in Japanese we call it kinjo meiwaku, which is troubling to the neighbors. So I would say as a country, normal Japanese people love cars, and this is evidenced by the RV boom in the 80s and the sports car boom in the early 90s as well, with the burgeoning bubble economy. But cars in general, yes, I would say in compared to other Asian countries, Japanese really love their cars. That was why the Japanese automotive industry and the aftermarket industry was very, very big. But if we're probably talking about like Hashiriya or Bozozoku, normal Japanese society, of course, thinks that is negative. So it's a very debatable point.
Yes.
Yeah. For bubble era cars, has Japan got more tax because of carbon emissions or vice versa? So just to answer this very quickly, it's very simple. In Japan, there is a simple taxation system for the yearly capacity of the engine, and after 13 years this goes up to 1.5 times, and that's probably just about it.
Yeah.
It's very simple. Do you like Uno's Roadster? Yes, I do. A fantastic car to start with, low powered, lightweight, very good and nimble handling. What about you? Have you ever considered buying a Miata MX-5 Roadster?
I am still considering.
You're still considering?
I wish I have a place for the fourth car.
Until now, you haven't actually owned anything really lightweight and compact, right?
No.
You have to try it. Some Turkish here.
Which one?
Here.
Say hi to Faruk.
Hi. What level of skills and qualifications would one need to work at a JDM car import company? Japonic,
But
could you
he's
answer that?
asking there, like, so he will be there, import cars from us. We export cars. So we are export specialists here.
Mhm.
So they're gonna import there.
Mhm.
So first they should know their rules, country rules, laws about what year they can import. For example, for US, of course, 25 years, everybody knows that now.
Right.
But for Europe, there is no limitation. But for
okay.
over 30 years old cars, they give 7% of tax instead of 19%, and plus 10% of customs. It's very detailed. We can't just say do this and you can do it. but it's not hard. It's not hard. Just have a company, so you won't have import limitations. As a person, if you import 1 or 2 cars, then your limit will be done for a year.
I see.
So having a company would be better. If you want to import any cars and if you want to establish a company, we can source you any type of cars from Japan.
Fair enough. And that's a very, very good response. And so I think there are a lot of people around the world who love maybe automobiles and maybe even JDM cars, and you think you want to work close to them. Coming to Japan, of course, it's a difficult thing because of the language barrier and how do you actually get the connections, but you can really start off working in your own country. That like a lot of people work in dealerships, for example, mechanics or doing sales or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. And don't give up your dream if you like automobiles.
Never give up.
Study hard.
Study.
Yeah.
Just do research, study, and you will be fine.
Definitely. Will you cover other types of JDM cars like Land Cruisers and whatnot? Anything goes. I personally like the 70 series Land Cruiser a lot because it's basically the toughest car in the world, in my opinion.
Yeah, still runs great, regardless of the mileage.
Yes,
right?
yes. It just goes and goes. And another favorite of ours, which is not a performance car, is the Toyota Century, which we have already. It's coming up. It's going to come up. This is also a very good question. Is there really a difference between cars that are produced in Japan and outside of Japan? So we're talking about like Toyota, Honda, Nissan cars that are produced maybe in America, in Europe, or in Turkey.
Yes, they are definitely different. So depending on the country's taxations and depending on the geography. So
yes,
the cars that Toyota produce for Africa and Japan is not same, of course.
So it's spec-wise, it's very, very different. Japanese makers make a lot of effort to make the specifications and equipment levels, sometimes even the size, to suit that market.
Even the gasoline prices in other countries makes the brands choose the engine, diesel or gasoline engine.
Right.
So in Turkey, we have mostly diesel Toyotas now.
Oh, okay.
1.5 diesel Toyota.
Fantastic. 1.5 liter diesel.
Yeah.
But the quality, I would say, at least for Toyota and Honda, because they're the biggest producers of cars outside of Japan, they have big factories. Their QC, the quality control, is really, really good.
It's good.
I would say today, in 2020, it's probably the same, because even cars that are produced in Japan now have gone through really cost down measures, and a lot of the components and parts are actually sourced from outside of Japan. It's not like the bubble era anymore.
When I came here like 8 years ago, in Turkey, even in 2012 model Toyotas didn't have back rear view camera.
Right.
But when I came here, I bought a 2004 Toyota Wish, and it had reverse camera.
Wow.
I was like,
standard equipment is much more high here.
Yeah. It's way higher here.
That's a good one. And one thing we have to say and talk about is that JDM cars now in Japan have still always have always enjoyed a high level of equipment, because that's something that the Japanese really love, high specification cars. So standard equipment and navigation, which all these adds up to the cost of the car. But in Japan, people tend to buy the highest specification or the second highest specification much more than the poverty spec.
Yeah, base model.
Base model, right?
Because when you want to sell it, they just check the grade of the car. It's like package of the car. It's like high package or just base model. Difference is really high.
Okay guys, so that's all the time we have, because with so many questions. Thank you for all your questions.